My beloved child, there is a reason you found this message today, and it is not by chance. Something has already begun to shift in a way you cannot fully see yet. Stay with me for a moment, because what is about to unfold carries a meaning that reaches far beyond ordinary moments. The person your heart has quietly remembered experienced something unexpected after witnessing the change you finally made within yourself. It was not a grand announcement or a dramatic scene. It was something much deeper. They realized that the version of you they once thought they understood no longer exists. That realization touched their heart in a way they never expected. They tried to remain composed, but emotions became stronger than words. This may resonate as we continue, because the greatest transformations are often invisible until someone else notices them first. And today, someone did. There is one detail that makes this moment extraordinary. Your soulmate was not moved because of what you said. They were moved because of what you stopped chasing. The silence you embraced, the patience you discovered, and the quiet confidence you carried created a ripple that reached them without a single conversation. They began asking themselves questions they had avoided for so long. Why does your presence still feel familiar? Why does your absence suddenly feel so powerful? Those questions opened a door inside them that had remained closed for longer than they realized. As this unfolds, clarity will come. Every emotion they tried to hide slowly rose to the surface, and for the first time they allowed themselves to feel everything instead of running from it. That is why their heart became so overwhelmed. The surprising part has not even arrived yet. While reflecting on everything that has changed, they uncovered a memory connected to you that they believed had faded forever. It returned with remarkable clarity, reminding them of a promise they once made silently in their own heart. That forgotten promise now feels more alive than ever before. They cannot explain why this memory returned today and not yesterday, but they know it is connected to the new energy you carry. Something huge is waiting for you, and the signs are quietly gathering together. Every small coincidence, every unexpected reminder, and every peaceful feeling is becoming part of a much larger picture. What once looked like separate pieces are beginning to fit together in ways neither of you expected. Even more astonishing is what happened immediately afterward. Instead of looking backward with regret, your soulmate started imagining a future they had never dared to picture before. They realized that hope had quietly returned without asking for permission. That realization brought both relief and emotion at the same time. They understood that genuine change cannot be forced, it can only be recognized when it naturally appears. You became that recognition. Without trying to prove anything, you showed them that growth speaks louder than promises. The moment this truth settled into their heart, tears followed naturally. Not because of sadness, but because they finally believed that some connections become stronger after both people learn valuable lessons separately. So remain patient for just a little longer, because this story is still unfolding in ways you cannot yet imagine. The greatest surprises rarely arrive with loud announcements. They appear through quiet moments that suddenly change everything you thought you knew. Continue walking with confidence, continue protecting your peace, and continue believing that every meaningful step has value, even when no one seems to notice. The truth is that someone did notice. Someone felt the difference. Someone's heart was deeply moved by the person you have become. And if you have stayed with me until this moment, remember these words carefully. The most unforgettable chapters always begin when you stop searching for proof and simply become the person you were always meant to be. As this unfolds, clarity will come, because the next chapter is closer than it appears. There is another piece of this story that changes everything. The moment your soulmate's emotions settled, they made a quiet decision that no one around them fully understood. Instead of distracting themselves, they chose to revisit the moments that reminded them of you. Every memory carried a new meaning because they were seeing it through different eyes. Stay with me for a moment, because this next revelation connects directly to the title of this message. They were not crying over the past. They were overwhelmed by the realization that the person they once underestimated had become someone truly remarkable. Sometimes the biggest miracle is not changing another person's heart, it is changing yourself so completely that their heart changes on its own. This may resonate as we continue, because this realization arrived when they least expected it. Then something even more surprising happened. A simple conversation with someone close to them completely shifted their perspective. They were asked one gentle question: if you had the chance to begin again, would you see things differently? That question stayed with them long after the conversation ended. For the first time, they answered honestly within themselves. They admitted that your kindness, your patience, and your quiet strength had never truly disappeared, they had simply failed to appreciate them at the right time. As this unfolds, clarity will come. The tears they shed became tears of gratitude, because they finally understood that genuine connections are built through consistency, not perfection. Something huge is waiting for you, and every passing day is bringing that moment closer than you realize. If this message is touching your heart, take a second to share this video with someone who believes meaningful connections still exist. Leave a comment telling us which part resonated with you the most, and subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter of this journey. Every new chapter reveals another hidden piece of this unfolding story, and you may discover the message you have been waiting to hear. One final revelation remains before this chapter closes. Your soulmate is beginning to notice signs that remind them of the person you have become. Familiar places, unexpected thoughts, and quiet moments of reflection all seem to lead back to you. They cannot explain why these reminders appear so naturally, but they no longer ignore them. Instead, they welcome them with an open heart. That alone is a powerful change. The connection is no longer based on uncertainty. It is being rebuilt through understanding, patience, and genuine appreciation. So keep moving forward with confidence, even if everything has not yet become visible. The strongest stories are written one quiet moment at a time. Continue becoming the best version of yourself without looking for immediate proof, because the impact of your growth is already reaching places you cannot see. Your soulmate has recognized that change, and their heart has responded in a way they never imagined possible. This may resonate as we continue, because the next chapter reveals the unexpected choice they are preparing to make. And it may become the turning point that changes everything. A quiet shift is taking place even now, and this chapter reveals the part no one else knows. After those emotional moments, your soulmate stopped asking, "What happened?" and started asking, "Who have they become?" That single question changed everything. Stay with me for a moment, because the answer they discovered surprised even them. They realized your greatest transformation was not something you showed the world. It was something you carried within. Your calmness, your patience, and your ability to keep moving forward became impossible to ignore. This may resonate as we continue, because the strongest messages are often spoken without a single word. Every step you took toward becoming a better version of yourself quietly reached their heart. Then came an unexpected realization. Your soulmate remembered a small moment that once seemed ordinary, but now feels incredibly meaningful. They smiled as they replayed it in their mind, wondering how something so simple could hold such lasting value. It was never about one conversation or one memory. It was about how consistently your kindness left an impression long after the moment had passed. As this unfolds, clarity will come. They finally understood that genuine connections are not measured by how often two people speak, but by how deeply they continue to inspire each other, even from a distance. That understanding filled their heart with hope they had not felt in a very long time. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next discovery made them even more emotional. They realized they had been looking for reassurance in all the wrong places, while the answer had quietly been growing through your own journey. Instead of wondering whether the connection still mattered, they began wondering how they could honor everything they had finally understood. For the first time, they imagined what it would feel like to approach the future with honesty instead of hesitation. That thought alone brought a sense of peace they had been searching for without realizing it. The tears they experienced were no longer about confusion, they became a reflection of gratitude for everything they had learned. Another remarkable detail soon followed. They noticed that every time they thought about your growth, they also felt inspired to improve themselves. It became clear that your journey was encouraging them to begin their own. That is what made this moment so unforgettable. Real change has a way of spreading quietly, touching hearts one by one without asking for attention. This may resonate as we continue because true transformation often creates a ripple that reaches far beyond what anyone can see. Your story became a source of encouragement in ways you may never have expected. As this chapter comes to a close, remember one thing above all else: meaningful connections are strengthened by growth, understanding, and hope. The chapter you are living today is preparing the foundation for what comes next. Keep trusting your journey, keep protecting your peace, and keep believing that every sincere step has value. The emotion your soulmate felt was not the end of the story, it was the beginning of a completely new perspective. And in the next chapter, an unexpected sign will appear that makes them realize this connection is even more meaningful than they ever imagined. There is one final layer to this moment that your soulmate has not shared with anyone. After everything they felt, they stopped searching for answers outside themselves and listened to the quiet truth within their own heart. Stay with me for a moment, because this realization became the turning point. They understood that what touched them was not a single action, it was the steady growth they had witnessed from afar. Every time they reflected on your journey, they felt inspired to become a better version of themselves as well. As this unfolds, clarity will come. The emotions they experienced were no longer about wondering what could have been. Instead, they became grateful for what was still possible. That quiet hope was stronger than anything they had felt in a long time. Then something completely unexpected happened. During an ordinary day, a familiar thought returned to them again and again, refusing to fade. It reminded them of the strength, kindness, and resilience they now associate with you. They realized that genuine admiration grows naturally when someone continues moving forward with patience and purpose. Something huge is waiting for you, because the changes happening inside your soulmate are creating a new perspective they never imagined. They are beginning to believe that some connections become even more meaningful after both people have grown individually. This may resonate as we continue, because the greatest surprises often begin with the smallest moments of reflection. If this message has stayed with you until now, share this video with someone who could use a little hope today. Leave a comment sharing which moment connected with you the most, and subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter. Every chapter uncovers another meaningful piece of this journey, and the next one may reveal the message you've been waiting to hear. As the story continues, your soulmate is no longer focused on old questions. Their attention has shifted toward new possibilities. They are choosing appreciation over uncertainty and optimism over hesitation. That inner change is becoming the foundation for everything that follows. Every day, they feel a little more certain that meaningful connections are built through sincerity, patience, and personal growth. The tears that once reflected overwhelming emotion have now become a reminder of how deeply a heart can change when it finally recognizes something truly valuable. Before this chapter closes, remember this: the most remarkable moments rarely arrive with loud announcements. They appear quietly, growing stronger with every passing day until one day everything suddenly makes sense. Keep walking your path with confidence, continue becoming the person you are meant to be, and never underestimate the quiet impact your growth can have on someone else's heart. The story is far from over. In the next chapter, a surprising new development begins to unfold, one that brings both hearts closer to a future filled with understanding, gratitude, and possibilities that once seemed impossible. A new chapter begins, and this is where the story takes its most meaningful turn. Your soulmate has reached a point where emotions are no longer enough, they want understanding. Stay with me for a moment, because what happened next surprised even them. Instead of looking back with questions, they started looking ahead with hope. They realized that the greatest gift you gave was not a promise or a perfect moment. It was the example of quiet growth. Without asking for attention, you showed that real strength is found in patience, consistency, and peace. As this unfolds, clarity will come. That realization stayed with them long after the tears had faded, becoming a quiet reminder that some people leave a lasting impact simply by becoming the best version of themselves. Then came a once-in-a-lifetime realization that they never expected. While reflecting on everything they had learned, they noticed a pattern. Every meaningful lesson seemed to point back to one truth: genuine connections are never built on rushing, but on becoming ready. That understanding filled them with gratitude. They no longer wondered whether your journey mattered. They knew it did. Something huge is waiting for you, because the change inside their heart is no longer temporary. It has become part of the way they see the future. Every new day strengthens that feeling, making it clearer that the story between you carries a depth they had overlooked before. What makes this moment even more remarkable is that your soulmate has begun noticing opportunities instead of obstacles. They are paying attention to small moments that once passed unnoticed, a kind memory, a peaceful thought, an unexpected feeling of encouragement. Each one reminds them that hope grows quietly before it becomes visible. This may resonate as we continue, because life's biggest turning points rarely arrive all at once. They are built through countless small moments that slowly transform the heart. Your own journey has become one of those moments for them, inspiring a perspective they never imagined they would have. Another beautiful truth is beginning to unfold. The admiration they feel is no longer based on who you were yesterday, it is rooted in who you are becoming today. That difference changes everything. Instead of holding on to old expectations, they now appreciate your courage to keep moving forward. They understand that lasting connections are strengthened when both people continue growing individually. This realization has brought them a sense of peace that cannot be replaced by quick answers or temporary emotions. It is steady, genuine, and filled with quiet confidence. As this chapter comes to an end, carry these words with you. Sometimes the greatest news is not a single event, it is the discovery that hearts can grow, perspectives can change, and hope can return when least expected. Continue walking your path with confidence, because every sincere step is shaping a future you cannot fully see yet. Your soulmate's tears mark the beginning of a new understanding, not the end of the story. And the next chapter reveals the quiet decision they are preparing to make, a decision that may become the most unforgettable moment of this entire journey.